You're watching Fugitive Red-Eye, and I've really been slacking off with the Red Dwarf reviews this year. So today I thought I'd review the first 3 episodes of Season 12. Let's start off with the first episode, Cured. Note, there will be major spoilers for all 3 episodes in this video. Cured starts out with the guys playing a game of poker and trying to teach the cat how to do a poker face. The reason I mention the poker face thing is this does come up later in the episode. They then come across a signal and find a moon base, and on this moon base, it's a facility where they tried to cure evil. So naturally, there's a bunch of history's worst people, Hitler, Stalin, Vlad the Impaler, and the like, who have all been cured and are now better, or so it would seem. A lot of funny stuff happens in this episode. Lister ends up jamming out with Hitler on a guitar. Not his guitar, because they actually carried over continuity of Lister's guitar being flushed into space from the previous 2 seasons. And honestly, I think one of the funniest lines in the episode is when Lister's hesitant to jam out with Hitler, and Hitler says, "What, is it because I'm Hitler?" Then a bunch of stuff happens, and then the dwarfers get ambushed and, attacked. So Crichton does a brain scan to figure out who's the actual one who isn't cured, and find out who attacked them. So he runs the scan and finds out that the professor who supposedly cured them is actually the evil one, and the cured evil people, like Hitler and the like, are actually droids. So all the droids get shut down. They also find out that the cat is a sociopath, and the episode ends with the cat using his poker face to convince the psychopath that he is actually on his side, to get him to give him a gun, and then he shoots him, and they leave. That's pretty much all of Cured, and it's a great episode and a great start to a new season. The next episode is Siliconia. This episode starts out with Crichton being overworked by the crew, as per usual, to do several different tasks that really are kind of unreasonable. They then find a signal where Lister's guitar is actually still out in space, so they go to retrieve it. And once they've retrieved his guitar, they immediately get abducted by another ship. This ship is filled with mechanoids who have their own little group. The Mechanoid something Liberation Front, I can't remember what the second word was, but the abbreviation is MILF, which I thought was pretty great. And these mechanoids convince Crichton that he's a slave, and he needs to join them and get rid of his human masters. This is also the episode in question where everyone gets to be Crichton, meaning all of the main actors had Crichton suits put on because their brains were transferred into mechs. They're made to perform menial tasks and their personalities begin to fade away. By the end of the episode, however, Lister convinces Crichton that he was not a slave, and Crichton decides to free his comrades. They also come to Siliconia, which is this big space station that's like a Valhalla for mechs. I don't think it's related to Silicon Heaven. It's actually a place they search for rather than a place they believe they go after they die. So they approach Siliconia, and it makes all the mechs have free will. And with this free will, they decide not to attack the humans anymore, and they decide they actually like the life of servitude they have and go back to cleaning. Crichton, of course, returns his friends to their bodies, and they return to Red Dwarf. Another great episode in another great season. And finally, for this video, we have the 3rd episode of Series 12, Time Wave. It begins with the crew finding a moon and naming it Planet Rimmer. Then a time wave comes and another ship is washed up near them, about to collide into Planet Rimmer. So they decide they need to go save the crew, and Rimmer wants to save Planet Rimmer. When they board this ship, they find out that criticism has been outlawed on the ship because they believed it gave people some sort of superiority and therefore a high. So the dwarfers go about this ship trying to avoid criticizing and trying to convince them not to crash into the planet because their ship is on a crash course. It doesn't go right, and Lister ends up criticizing one of the waitresses in the ship's diner and ends up being arrested, as do all the rest of the crew, because the cat calls the police officers on the ship Captain Asshole. They do eventually convince the ship's captain to repeal the law against criticism, and they convince him to put all the workers back where they belong, and the engineers can fix the ship so it's no longer on the crash course. That way people aren't doing whatever the hell they want, and they can save the ship. Of course, the episode ends with Lister criticizing a drawing that the captain does, and he reinstates the law against criticism and orders to have them arrested, to which they say, "Let's get out of here," and the credits roll. Another fantastic episode and a fantastic season. All these episodes are hilarious and have a lot of classic dwarf humor. I like that they carried over the continuity of Lister's guitar being flushed into space, and I like a lot of the things they did this season. I feel this season is actually better so far than Season 11 was. Only time will tell if that stays true, but it's really good, and I recommend you check it out. If you're in the US, you'll need to subscribe to BritBox to watch it legally. That's a paid subscription service. But if you're lucky enough to be in the UK, you can watch it for free online using ukplay.tv or UK TV Play. I'm not sure exactly what the site is. Just look it up. They also have links to them both on the Red Dwarf official website. But anyway, this has been Fugitive Red-Eye, and I'll try to do episodes as they come out from now on. Anyway, you have a great rest of the night.